All right. All right. So, if I've got audio coming through, that was my first attempt at an intro for the show. Um, I thought it was pretty cool. It was a video I made a long time ago, so the cabin obviously looks a little bit different now. And for the show, I've kind of decided the best way to make it interesting is to cut it up into segments. So, for example, if I had like some positivity, shit that happened today, shit I've seen on the internet, some stuff that people sent in, it gives people an opportunity to vent, to get some creativity out. You're locked at home, you're on your own, or you could be with like direct relatives, I don't know, your flatmates. Like, what about people who are stuck in a flat, no gardens, not supposed to be going out, and they were in a situation where they didn't really like their flatmates that much, but they were moving out soon anyway, right? Think about all the things that people have going on in their lives before all this happened. I today realized, not long before I started this, that I'm super lucky. I got a lot of cool things going on. We've got a nice garden, like myself and my wife get along really well. Our son's amazing. We're quite lucky. But think about all those other people that aren't so lucky. If they've got an opportunity to vent some of their creativity, then they should do that. As far as exercise and stuff goes, like I found a video today of a guy who decided he's not allowed out, but he still needs to exercise, right? So he decided to exercise on his balcony. Perfectly normal, except that his neighbor videotaped him exercising on the balcony, right? So I've picked a song that I think is ideal for this. Let me show you the guy. I'm gonna call him Captain Turbo, right? Turbo's the nickname for one of these powered cycle things you click your bike into, right? What are you doing, buddy? Right, is anyone else getting this? Like, can anyone else see what's wrong with this picture? It's got a nice bike. It looks like a carbon specialized, maybe a tarmac or something. What is it that's weird about it? Right, I'm gonna play this video again. Oh no, I can't. Boom, boom, let's see. Will it load? All right, is anyone able to guess what is wrong with the picture? Like, what is this guy doing that's weird? Anybody? Nick, tell me what is the guy doing that's weird? Like, come on. He's on his bike. It is attached to a frame that keeps it bolted to the ground on his balcony with railings either side of him. And he's wearing a helmet. Why is he wearing a helmet? Anyway, moving on from that. Right. So today, I asked a few people to put in a cocktail entry, and I didn't actually get any back. I've got some people that are going to put some back for later on. So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna make you some cocktails off the top of my head. I'm going to feature some ingredients, but I've kind of been reluctant to say here's some cocktails that I'm making while I'm in lockdown and I can't get out of the house, because as you might have seen, like when it comes to booze, I'm practically a doomsday prepper. You know, there's so much booze here, so it doesn't feel like it would be anyone's average kind of kitchen home bar. And I thought it would do it more justice for people at home if they're getting people that have not got a freakish amount of booze in their house sending it in. But you know what? there's some cocktails that I think have been lost to the dusts of time that would be worthwhile bringing up. And I found this morning some Zabravka. So Zabravka, like, people forget how good this shit is. This is delicious, this stuff. And there's some cocktails that you can make with it that are equally delicious. Right, but before we get into that, I want to pick up on where I was when this all started. So I was drinking this. I was drinking this because I just finished a call with G-Man, or, well, I'm not going to call him Gareth. Oh. He told me not to call him Gareth because everyone calls him G and only his mum calls him Gareth. So I'm not technically calling him Gareth if I say the word Gareth, but his name's G. So G got in touch, he answered my Skype call, and I had a chat to him to find out how Sweat Check is getting on, because I really liked it. He, I don't know if he actually called me out. Maybe I called myself out. Maybe I just seen his video and thought it was a great thing, and then attached myself to it somehow by just badgering him into answering a Skype call. But he answered a Skype call, and in that Skype call, I was drinking one of these. I'd like to finish this, but I'll cut to that Skype call that we had earlier on. I did the Skype call in advance because when I was doing live videos before, the live video fucked up. So Gareth is watching now. G-Man, just change your name on Facebook. I follow Facebook. I'm an aesthetic learner. Right, so G-Man's watching. So if the audio is terrible, let me know on the comments, because whilst the videos are playing, I can fine-tune my commentary. All right, let's have a look. Where is he? He is there. G, thank you for taking my Skype call. I'd love to find out more about your Sweat Check and what you've got going on now, because I know I featured your Sweat Check in the video a couple of days ago, but since then you've got more going on. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, so as soon as this thing started, basically, we realised we kind of needed to do something. So what we did was we just launched a Facebook page. We called it Team Spirit. So basically, it's just three of us. It's myself, Jose from Liquor 43, and Vitek from Stolly. And then basically, we wanted to put out content that was going to try and help out the community. And yeah, just kind of raise some positivity. So it's based around all the content that we produce is based around the 5 pillars of health and wellness at work. So you've got connect, you've got positivity, you've got keep learning, you've got be active, and you've got share as well. So that's what we wanted to do. And yeah, just kind of be positive. And for me, I thought, I could see it coming. We're all going to be locked in. I was like, what do I need to do that I can get stuff out there? And I was like, well, I kind of know how to make videos. So yeah, we put the first video out.
Well, you know how to make videos. You planned them. You can tell when you watch the videos. You cut to different scenes that were pre-planned.
Yeah,
I can tell.
Yeah, I know. I know how to do a few things now and stuff like that.
Cool.
Just from doing vlogs. But so the first video was just that. The second video was I connected with Luke Condell from Murder Inc. And then we did a little cooking video together because he's doing a really cool thing where he teaches people to cook over Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. So basically what you do is you send him some stuff that you got in the fridge.
Ingredients.
You don't know how to cook. And then he comes up with a recipe for you. He'll text it to you within 20 minutes. And then so we did a live cook along with him. I tried editing it. It was an hour and a half. And then I was just hang on a sec.
Wow.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So it was a lot shorter video. And then the last one, the Sweat Check one, that was started by some guys in the States. And I thought it was a really good way.
Boxing?
Yeah, so it was basically this guy called Josue Gonzalez. He started it through bartender boxing because they had to do something positive to inspire people. And then my friend hit me up and which started sweat checking me. And then I was I got into it. I was like, oh right, now I got to do some exercise. And this was around October.
I did a fast-paced version of an exercise video for you. I
want to see it, man. Where is it?
Yeah, I showed yesterday the cycling video, and then
I tried editing it. It was like
I went to show like me trying to lift weights and stuff, and I'm a little self-conscious about that because I haven't been shown how to do it properly, so I just keep it low weights. Yeah. Right.
Well, this is the thing. So this is the beautiful thing about Sweat Check. Like when you do it, you know what I mean? Like you don't post, you don't have to post your workout. It's just about getting out there, doing some exercise, anything. You know what I mean? And as long as you're doing something, and as long as you're encouraging other people to do it, then, you can create your own like mini community of people that you work out with, and, just try and inspire people to do some work, And that's what it's all about, really.
It's positive.
Yeah.
It's just being positive.
I have the same thing as you, man. I hate the gym because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, So when I go to the gym,
I started going to the gym with my kind of brother-in-law, and he doesn't know the gym either. So we just downloaded a YouTube full body workout, science-based for a full body workout. Ed, my brother-in-law, is a scientist. And we followed that, and you know what? It wasn't too bad. It was all like squats and stuff, which I guess you can't do yourself if you're not doing big weights.
It's those it's compound movements, man. Like where you're using more than one muscle group, and that's supposed to be what's good for you and stuff like that. But for me, like I really got into it. I remember like being at BCB, and my friend was like,
while you were at BCB.
Yeah, mate, well, yeah, exactly. Dude, he was doing it to me every day.
That's not nice.
So this is Justin from Tromba Tequila, yeah? So he's just like sweat checked me. I'm at BCB. I'm like, damn, I don't have time to go to the gym. I'm definitely not doing it tonight because I'm going out. So I've just picked up a case of like limoncello, and I'm just doing squats with my limoncello. And then I've got my boss, Matteo Luxardo. He's looking over me and he's like, gee, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, sweat check, bro. Like,
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I've got my video now. Yesterday I tried to play it, but it played the slow version of the video, which was 25 minutes. I'll play my sweat check video for you tonight.
Do it, man. I want to see it.
In 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
But the thing is, when you post it, you've got to challenge other people to do it as well. They don't have to do the same as you. You know what I mean? Like they do whatever. But I figured, sort of like the whole first part of the video was like, the fact that everyone's going a little bit crazy.
And there's no rules.
Obviously, there's no rules, man. Just do some exercise. Hashtag the sweat check. You know what I mean?
Does masturbation count as exercise?
Second?
Does masturbation count as exercise?
Yeah, I don't want to see any pictures of that, man. I wouldn't post that on the Instagram
Maybe
stories.
Just the face. Just an extreme close-up of like a bead of sweat and someone being like... have you ever... the reason that pops into my head is, have you seen the skit of You're Working From Home Now with...
The song?
No. There's a comedy skit about someone who's just started working from home, and as I remember it, he and his girlfriend at a social gathering, and she's like, oh, he's just started working from home. You work from home, don't you? You two should probably chat about this. And, he meets a guy he's never met before, and the guy's like, oh, you're working from home now, are you? Been doing it a couple of years myself. And then he's like, have you gotten past the masturbation stage yet? They've just met.
Wow.
And he's like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, don't lie to me, man. Don't lie to me. I've been working from home myself for a while. And then eventually he cracks and he's like, yeah, I can't stop it. All I do is masturbate. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
No worries.
No rules. Sweat check. And
you should check out the video though. I think JJ posted it the other day. Basically, I'm sure he did. Maybe that was someone else. I'll send it to you. It's hilarious, mate.
That's a big deal.
It's about that. No. This is the video about the yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a song.
I'm on it.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I've got to start the show in 10 minutes.
Yeah, no worries, man. Do your thing. Sweet.
But thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you for supporting. And
No worries, man.
do my sweat check. And anyone
Yeah.
out there, I'll try to put a comment in the comments when the
Sweet.
show goes live.
Also,
and then you'll be able to.
One other thing, I love what you do with the t-shirts where you say like, oh yeah, it's sponsored by. So seeing as you don't have a bar t-shirt on today, you've got your own one. This one could be sponsored by Factoria in Puerto Rico.
Okay, rock and roll.
There you go, man. Represent.
I've seen that.
Come
I've got
on,
a hat.
keep up the
I
good
was
work,
trying
man.
to switch it up.
Yeah.
So I got my Strom hat. All right, sweet dude. Thank you so much.
Sweet, man.
I keep looking this
Have a
way
good one,
because
man.
I'm seeing him in a screen over here. Cheers, brother. Let's hope this audio works. Ciao. All right, I really hope that worked. I want to get to a stage where like there's a transition when I go click, that it delays and then it comes back to here, and you can't see me doing that. But whatever, it looks all right. Now, I'm reluctant to post my sweat check super fast video that I did for him. But if there is still people watching, and you want me to post it, it takes 2 whole minutes. I'll just skip through it real quick. Say post the video and I'll post it up there. But not until after I made a cocktail. Now, I have an idea. I think it's a good idea. I guess we'll have to try it and then we'll see what you guys think. So I have a friend called Mitch Ono Bushel. And Mitch Ono Bushel is a total legend. He's not everybody's cup of tea, right? And if he was a cup of tea, he'd be like really strong cup of tea with like so much tannin and astringency that you either love it and you want more because of that caffeine hit, or you're like, and you can't help but do your best Robert De Niro pose. I personally love it. I'm like, give me more of that caffeine. So I think Mitch is awesome, but Mitch's opinions he's so deeply passionate about things that he loves and about things that he hates. And I think more people should be like that. So I wanted Mitch to come on the show. Unfortunately, Mitch lives in LA, and I came up with the idea today, which means that, like, as we speak, it's not even midday in LA, and Mitch doesn't wake up before noon, and certainly not to be doing stuff for free. But in lieu of having Mitch on the actual show, I am going to make a Mitch. I think I'm going to make a Mitch. Now, back in the disco days, like 10, 12, 14, whatever years ago, maybe 20 years ago, there was such thing as a Mitch Martini. I think it traveled to Australia from London and became a Lotus Martini. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was the Lotus Martini when it was in Sydney. And then it went up to Brisbane in Australia. And when it was in Brisbane, it became a Press Club Martini. People just named their bar after it. It sold like fucking hotcakes. Everybody wanted this drink. I made a variation of it for 42 Below Cocktail World Cup, where I put, instead of Zubravka, I put 42 Below Feijoa, and instead of a lemon twist, I put a kaffir lime leaf, which back in the day was pretty cutting edge shit. Not really. But it tasted fucking amazing, and I sold loads of them. And then I entered it in a cocktail competition, and it got through, but I felt guilty because I'd ripped off a drink. You know, I wasn't really trying very hard. You've probably done this yourself if you're a cocktail bartender, entering as many comps as you can when you first start out. You take a successful drink, you twist it a little bit, and you throw it in, and you're not expecting to get through, but you're putting your name in the hat so people see your name. It got through, but then when I went to the actual finals in Sydney, I switched the drink out and made a drink that used my own bespoke homemade bitters. Didn't win, but got me loads of attention because no one else in 2006 or 2007, whenever it was really making bitters at home. The only place you could get a recipe was Gary Regan's Joy of Mixology, and he had his orange bitters recipe in there. Anyway, moving along. Mitch Martini. What's in a Mitch Martini, you might ask? Well, delicious stuff, basically. So we start with, well, we don't start with Zabravka. Zabravka is the more expensive thing in there. The way I was taught to make this drink, you start with the cheapest thing. Now, cheapest thing in this case is what's left of yesterday's passion fruit syrup. So we're going to start with passion fruit syrup. I'm just putting 10 mils in because this is a bit sweet, this passion fruit syrup. And we've got a bit of sourness coming through in the drink, but not enough to balance it out. The passion fruit I used to use in Australia was actual passion fruit pulp scooped out of half of a passion fruit. Completely different thing. It's really sour. But I'm putting the passion fruit in there for the passion fruit flavor. Bit of creme de pêche. So this one's not too sweet for a creme de pêche, but I'm putting, I think, 15 mils. I don't remember the spec for this drink. I remember kind of what went into it, but I don't remember the spec exactly. And then cloudy apple juice. Again, the apple juice left over from yesterday. I'm trying to be responsible and not throw stuff out if I don't absolutely have to. So I'm reusing, well, I'm continuing to use what I've got. Right, now, before I go shaking this drink, well, put this in first. Zabravka, highly underrated. It's delicious. In fact, a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually get, and I'm going to put the full 60 mils of Zabravka in there. Fuck it. I'm going to put all the Zabravka in there. So, people don't know this, but you can get this in an aged, I think I might have some, actually. Wait, give me 1 second. Nope. Not anymore. I used to have it. It used to be in my... Oh, no, wait. I got a little bit left. This one. Right? I think I got it in Poland. But I got it in the airport. But look at that. Cool, huh? Yeah. I think it's aged. Looks like it's aged. It's darker. Maybe they put caramel in it. I don't know enough about it, but it tastes delicious. Right. So we got all those ingredients. Before I do anything, up she comes. Am I still live? If I'm still live, someone give me a thumbs up, just so I know. If not, I'm making myself a drink. Right, so, lemon. I'm just going to cut a nice rustic twist off the outside. I'm not going to worry about the pith on the inside because I think I'll lose some of the oils. I'm going to discard it anyway. Right, so I've got my drink prepped. Bit of shop bought ice for this one. Get my shaker on there. I'm putting it in a disco looking glass. All right, this is a Crystal Head glass. Thank you very much, Crystal Head. I know I'm using a different vodka, but you know, if Chris is watching, maybe Monkey come round, we'll get some bison grass, we'll put it in a sonic bath, bzzz, and then make a Crystal Head. Mitch, what would we call it? I don't know, but we could call it the Cabin Martini. You know, just apply your name, add Martini to the end. This thing wins every time. All right. Good hard shake. Oh, I forgot. Check this out. So, I messed around with my cameras for a long time today. And check that out. Oh, wait. Let me see if I can get this just right. Right there. Oh yeah. How does that look? It looks good? More angles? All right. It might sound ridiculous. Oh. Yeah, how's that? That looks good, right? Yeah, so you can probably... It might sound ridiculous, but I spent like £70 on a little thing that allows me to have an extra camera angle. I think it's worth it. If I want to keep playing around and make the show better, you know, I need multiple angles. I need people to be able to see from every different, you know, point of view. And at some point, when we're allowed to socialize again, I'd love to be able to invite bartenders from all over the range of bartending skill sets. People that have just arrived in London, they've come from wherever it is, they're trying to crack the scene, they want to be on the show so that they can kind of pitch themselves, make a couple of drinks and people get an idea who they are so they can get a job placement, right through to people who have maybe just left the bar industry and are going into brand ambassadorship work or, you know, owning their own bar. They're here to pitch their own bar for the first time, get people to know about it. They're looking for employees for the new place. That'd be my dream. Do the show every day, create platforms for people, get creative. All right. The Mitch. In lieu of Mitch. Like, I wonder whether he's actually awake yet. Let's see. Nope. He's not responding. Right, so let's have a look. Now, I'm going to pretend it's delicious even if it's not. All right. It's drier than I remember, but you know what? I used to put 45 mils of vodka in it. Because when I was working in Australia, we had to do this thing called responsible service of alcohol. And like, Australians are sticklers for rules. And some of the rules don't make any sense. Like, for example, I did my responsible service of alcohol 5 times in Australia. The same course run by people that don't know anything about sophisticated drinking, telling you that you can give 75 mils of one liquor to people, but any more than that, and that's illegal because people will get too drunk. And I'm like, okay, so if I give someone 80 mils of Baileys, that's okay, but 75 mils of Ray and Nephew overproof rum, like 80 mils of Baileys isn't okay, but 75 mils of Ray and Nephew overproof rum in a shot is okay. Yeah, because you got to stick to 75 mils. And it's like, really? Like, come on, work in units of alcohol at least, instead of the volume of liquid. Used to drive me fucking crazy. Rant over. Yay! Hi. All right. Hi. I just got a hi from, but I can't make out the flag. It's too little. Haranath, is that right? Yeah, anyway. Hello to you too. So this is a Mitch. I could have got the recipe wrong, but you know what? You got the internet. You could Google it. We can figure it out. It's still a delicious drink. I think we could fine tune it a little bit. I remember it being slightly more frothy as well. Could have been because we use thicker, more viscous creme de pêche. I doubt it was the passion fruit. Again, tastes of simpler times. Right, so now, do I show that workout? Yeah, okay. All right, I'll show the workout. I'm going to fast track through it, okay? Now, let me go to, it's this one. Bam.
Hey, buddy.
Right, so that's my little man. Now, looking at this, I had just finished my cycling ride that I did yesterday. When I started doing that, hey, greetings from Poland, greetings from London, and you just missed us making like drinks with Polish vodka. Anyway, I don't know if my form is right here, so obviously I'm super nervous and I'm taking care of my little man, but I'm just keeping the weights low because I don't know what I'm doing. But skipping through, did all these things. So I don't know how it all works, but they're all like compound movements, as Gareth was saying. Full body stuff. Until I did my bartender style. I'm going to cut through. So this is my favorite bit, because I ad-libbed this, right? So these are 2 sleeper logs that I'm like building up my grip strength. Bruh. Because you need grip strength. No one works, you know, who does grip days? I don't know about like bodybuilders and stuff, but I don't know how many of them do grip days. But grip's like, that's what we do. When you're a bartender, you do grip. You need to grip stuff, which is like, you need it if you've got strong grip and you've done. Now, I'm a massive advocate of practicing flair when you first start bartending. Now, when I say when you first start bartending, it's kind of, I don't mean when you first start bartending, but when you very first start bartending, it's almost a sin not to do some flair practice, right? And you could argue against this, but in real life, when you see people that have just started bartending, they pick up a bottle like gripping it, and they're pouring like this, right? When you see people that flair, they're so accustomed to catching the bottle on the fly and being able to, they're not letting go of it and it drops. They're bringing it up a little bit. So they're used to that gravity, the feeling of having a bottle and manipulating it just by the neck with a couple of fingers. It happens naturally over time, but when you're flaring, you're engaging your entire body and doing these ones, right? So for me, the grip training thing was, I realized, having not bartended for 7 or 8 years, when I was a brand ambassador all the time, that I was picking up, as soon as I went to pick up multiple bottles at events, like I used to be able to hold that for a really long time like this, and it started to, in the evening, like burn into my thumb. So that was that, right? But I personally think if there's anyone watching this that understands flair, understands how to train flair, my dream would be to get like Tom Dyer or Christian Delpish to help me with this, because they're like legends. Or Nicholas St. John, right? Old school, just been around there, understand how to train it. But imagine before you start your shift, right? Especially as you get older, you just do a like constant circle 8, and that becomes like something where you've started there and you start to roll out, and you start in here and you go from this to this to that to that to that to that, and you've got a circle 8 where your hands start doing this, and then when you start flicking it from behind to catch here and there, I'm not going to do it here because it's kind of a tiny bar, but when you start flicking it out, you do that for 2 minutes, looping back the whole time, and you're stretching, you're catching things here, you're catching things there, you're falling back. You'd stretch your entire body out before you started bartending. So when you do start bartending, you plant your feet, you start getting prepped, and then these movements, you've already warmed up. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's just a thought. Just a random exploration of a thought that I had. I'd love to see someone get involved, help me out, and come up with a flair yoga, like a flair stretching routine where someone could do it at the beginning of their shift or early in the day when they first wake up, and it would limber up their entire body, get all these wrist movements and stuff warmed up before you start your shift. Just a thought, right? It's up there with the plinthing. These are all the thoughts, just a little bit of an esterification of thoughts, right? Now, also on the things that happened today, I finally had people send me in stuff. India, yeah, okay. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I can see I still can't quite make out the flag on this. It's like this big on my computer, so I can't quite make out the 3 different colors. But now yeah, orange, white, and green, I should have known. I think. I'm going to play a video that was sent in to me that was super entertaining for the guy that sent it in. I can't understand what they're saying. So I think it's in Spanish, right? But let's assume 30% of the people that are watching this right now, which would be more than hopefully 5 people. those 5 people can understand Spanish and understand what's going on, because it definitely entertained one of the guys that's been watching the show. So in fairness, I'm playing it. Let's hope it's not offensive, because then I've been played. It looks pretty cool though. The guy's like wicked at singing. So I'm going to cut to this one.
Ya eché a lavar blue jeans y camiseta, ya planché, ya doblé, ya hice nudos con las medias, barrí, trapié y limpié la casa entera en cuarentena. Ya organicé archivos de la A a la Z, ya escribí, ya leí, vi 10 películas viejas, ya hice ejercicio y ya cociné la cena en cuarentena. Ya escuché música y revisé las redes, me metí a internet a pagar los recibos, ya colgué 2 cuadros y aunque no es diciembre, volví a armar el arbolito. Ya con mis hijos jugué, hice tarea, ya recé, ya llamé y atendí lo de la empresa. Ya hice de todo y ni me acuerdo pa' qué era la cuarentena. ¡Achú!
All right. So I've just been sent the video that I was waiting on, that I was going to feature. I don't know if that's going to work out though, because it does say the download has started. But what does that mean? Where does the download go to? I don't know. I can't see it. Yeah. So I might leave it. It was worth a try. We're nearly there. Right, so moving on. I also thought I would feature, like, on the show. Yesterday, Anya said, show us your vintage stuff, right? Now, I realized afterwards, I went in and I've got like some fire hydrants and some bits and pieces, but nothing special in here because I have packed up most of my stuff. But what is special? Is it like how rare it is? Is it how much like monetary value it has? Or is it like what it means to you? Now, this one thing I'm going to show you means a lot to me, because someone else who means a lot to me, a very good friend of mine, almost bought it ahead of me, sat at a bar. Like, we literally sat down at a bar, and we seen someone with it. Like, they had this thing, right? And we were like, both of us right next to each other went, whoa, and we both wanted it straight away. Like, there was no hesitation. We were like, I want that. I want that. And I was like, I'll give you £10. No, man, I paid 20 for it. And I was like, I'll give you 60. And he went, yeah. We just straight up, he got it that day. He showed it off at the bar and I straight away bought it off him. And my friend, who was with me, she was like, I would have bought that for more. And I was like, he agreed to 60. And like, we would have sat there arguing over it for ages. We probably would have spent a couple £100 on this thing. But I got it. So I've been protecting it because it is special. And the glass that I broke on the first show that I did, or the second show that I did, was a gift from her. So we're running out of stuff, vintage stuff that we have. But without further ado, with all the dust still on it, check that out. Right, so what is this thing, you might ask? Like, what is this? So have you ever seen the plastic swords that you get in cocktails? Like, you might, what happened to the teeny martini glass? Oh, right. Yeah, but that drink, I'm into the teeny martinis, but that drink was like a double. Oh, yeah, I guess so. It was a double of Zabravka. Yeah, you're right. I wanted to put it in a disco glass. I love my teeny martini glasses, but I wanted to use a V shape, I guess. Make the whole drink. Right, so let's cut to this one. So you can see it here. It might be a little overexposed. So maybe no. Where does it look good? Yeah, you can see it. So you got all these little swords. And you know, you see the cocktail swords that people would put on drinks. They're exactly that, but they're really well made. They're steel. Like, the finish on all of this is absolutely amazing. I'm shocked that you don't have more of these around anymore. You know, if you think about it, like, can you imagine in today's world having this beautiful little carousel with all these garnish picks ready on the bar top, and someone comes along and they order one of your top end cocktails, and you've got this thing on there. Now, I get it. In real life, they'd probably get stolen. But I guess the bartender, when they go to garnish the drink, could bring it up like this, right? Present it, holding it up like that, give it a little spin, and choose the weapon, garnish the drink. I think these are epic. If you go onto eBay and you look up like cocktail picks, they'll come up, right? Because there's a lot of cool vintage cocktail picks. People don't kind of make a big deal of them anymore, but like these are amazing. I'll show you another set that I've got that I think is really cool. I've got loads of these. This guy here, right? How cool is it? Look at that. Garnish your drink. For the home bartenders, where you don't invite someone into your home that's going to rob from you, I hope. So this sort of thing, if you're a home bartender, get them. They're super cool. I've got a collection of them. Unfortunately, when I used to work for Monkey Shoulder, I'd take like a couple of the swords with me, or I might take one of each sword, and then I'd assume that I wouldn't lose it, but I'd use it in a bar and then it's gone. So maybe it is just for the home bartender. Thought that might be an interesting thing for you guys to see. So thank you, Anya. I will continue to do that. I'll bring in some more vintage stuff. Now, on to tasting. I wanted to do a little taste of something cool. Yeah, exactly, Rich. Yeah, and then they steal it. Well, Rich, when this is all over, come hang out. We can garnish our drinks as nicely and as ornately as we want without the concern that someone's going to steal the shit, because literally I will know who it is. It'll be my friends. We can enjoy sophisticated drinking without the concern that comes with Uber garnishing things. Anyway, I was going to taste something again. Now, in the future, I might try to get a really good quality image of the back bar so you can see what is on here. But at the moment, we don't have absolutely, everything covered. I'd like to taste this though and give people a little bit of a backstory. It's just not going to focus on it, is it? Where is the focus point? Nope. Maybe I'll try this. Oh, yeah. You see that? See that? So, that's our featured spirit for today. Now, this stuff comes all the way from Mexico. Well, not really. Comes all the way from Canada, where it went from Mexico to Canada first, and then I was sent it from Canada because John, a friend of mine, took me, thank you very much, out to visit a few different, I guess, distilleries. I'm not going to try to use different names. They're distilleries. We went to some distilleries. We've seen some mezcal production, and whilst we were there, I was being Dean and ranting and raving about, wouldn't it be so cool if we did like porky pineapple pechuga? Now, I love pechuga, right? If you watch the show, you've seen a couple of days ago, we did a pechuga-inspired gin in the Portobello Road gin one. Fucking pechuga tastes great, right? But a porky pineapple pechuga, not many people realize it. Well, people realize one thing, right? Look at this, right? This is mint. This is a segment I'm going to carry on. Segment. Hey! I'm going to carry on with in a minute. But see these a great many moons ago, talking about vintage stuff. I bought all the vintage ones of these before they were absolute. And what was it again? I can't remember the name. Oliver Bonus. Oliver Bonus did a rip-off of that shit. That's crazy. These used to be hard to get a hold of. Now, you can see here, this is the Alex Cretenia and Simone Caporale Artesian. Can you see that? Artesian Tanqueray one. That I think came out around the same time as, or if not before, the copper absolute one, which if you have a look, before people went crazy making pineapple everything, these were difficult to find on the internet, and they were like ice holders and, you know, trinket holders, and you can see they don't have a hole for a cocktail straw to go in. That's an original, that one there, the one with the wobbly head. They weren't extremely well made, but the now very well made ones that come in all different shapes and sizes. Thank you very much, Absolute Vodka and Tanqueray, for making them super popular. They became popular because a pineapple is a symbol of hospitality. Now, before the pineapple was a symbol of hospitality, as far as I understand, before, so when I say, as far as I understand, it's to my best knowledge, I'm not telling a lie, the boar's head, or the pig's head, was, and pigs are pork, the boar's head was a symbol of hospitality. So if you ever look at, like, for example, Gordon's gin, on the back of the bottle of Gordon's gin, there's a little boar's head. And that is a representation of a symbol of hospitality. And then Tanqueray does the whole pineapple thing. So Tanqueray and Gordon's, owned by the same people for quite a while, both have a symbol of hospitality, and they don't even run with it. It's crazy. Anyway, porky pineapple pechuga. You got a pechuga, right? That's like the tradition. But then to be able to add in both pork and pineapple, you've taken the boar's head and you've taken the pineapple, the two symbols of hospitality, and you've married them into a pechuga. And that, to me, would have been symbolic of a hospitality forward pechuga. I didn't get to do it, but fortunately for me, they got Alexander Gabriel to do it, and he knows his shit. And he made one that was a pineapple pechuga, but with gin botanicals thrown in as well. He come up with a wicked recipe, and it tastes divine. So you're gonna have to taste this vicariously through me. Oh, yeah. So the pineapples for days, you have no idea. Like, I've got little salt shaker pineapples. I've got bookend pineapples. This is what I put my menus on if I ever make menus for my guests. It honestly, like, look at these. Look at these. These are my old-fashioned glasses for when I make pineapple-y old-fashions. There's just so much pineapple stuff. But, interestingly enough, most of it was acquired before pineapples became cool. Like, people were like, what's with the pineapple thing? I once actually had to be removed from the Class Bar Awards because I was sticking pineapples in people's faces. Like, literally a living pineapple in people's faces, being like, hey, did you forget about pineapples? Did you forget about pineapples? How come there's no pineapples? Because I got to London and no one had pineapple in anything. You couldn't order a Prince of Wales. Like, no one was making pina coladas except for Jake Berger, obviously. there were no pineapple ingredients, no pineapple syrup, no fresh pineapple, no pineapple juice. Everyone had this kind of weird pineapple shit, bro, apart from tiki bars where they used it primarily because pineapple represented kind of escapism. So I got super upset about it. And then as soon as I started earning enough money that I could spend money on stupid stuff, I started buying everything pineapple. So yeah, I have loads of pineapple stuff. Moving on. This is delicious. Oh. Siete Misterios. Brilliant. On that note, if you already have Siete Misterios in your bar, you're already able to get a hold of this. Brilliant. This is something new that they've done. Right, so let's cut to that one. Right, I'm the production assistant. I'm the presenter. Yeah, look at that. That's the sweet spot right there. How did I manage that? Right. Oh yeah. All the way from Mexico. So I was gifted this. I haven't actually tried it yet, but I figure we'll try it now. Now, the way I recommend trying bitters. If you've ever heard of Scoville units, imagine Scoville units. So if you want to find out how many parts per million Scoville units or whatever something is, if something is 130 parts per million, you imagine you've got a certain amount of water and then you put 130 drops or whatever, or in 130 mils of water, 130 liters of water, you'll be able to taste one drop of the hot stuff. I'm assuming that's how it works. We'll have to get like Paul to figure this out. Wait, is he watching? I think I've seen his name there. Where is he? Is he on there? Holy shit, there's people watching. There's loads of people commenting. Anyway, I'm going to keep moving on. You have a body of water, you add a drop, and depending on how intense the flavor is, so if you have 2 million Scoville units, imagine you have 2 million liters of water, and you drop one drop of hot sauce in. In those 2 million liters, you'll still taste the hot sauce. If you have 1 Scoville unit, you need a 1 liter, and you add a drop, and you can taste it. So 2 million will burn your eyes out. I know how that feels. I burnt my eyes out with 2 million Scoville. No, I think it was 1.5 million Scoville unit hot sauce by rubbing it in my eye. I was leaking water. My wife like opened my eye and licked it to try to kind of alleviate the pain, because I was brought up in a household full of toxic masculinity, trying to hide my pain and just bear it, which wasn't the best thing to do. But also licking it probably wasn't the best thing to do either. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drops. And then I'm going to add some water. I learned my lesson when I started making my own bitters back in the day, that this is probably the better way to get a sense of the flavor. It's like really earthy. There's like a sense of chocolate to it, but it's not chocolatey. It's like, you know when you get 90% cacao and it's astringent and dries your whole mouth out? It's got more of that flavor. Right, it's not too intense. So I'm going to start again, and this time I'm going to scale it up. Whoa, 2 of the whole things. Let's find out what it tastes like. Right. Love the cap change. You noticed this time. Thank you so much for noticing, because I changed caps 3 times in my other video, but they were so similar that no one noticed that I changed caps, right? Even Marco who knows. Marco knows everything. He notices everything. Hey, pun intended. He didn't even notice, right? He didn't notice. Marco knows everything. He notices everything. He didn't notice. So I thought I'd make it a little less subtle this time. Anyway. What would I do with that? I would, if I've got it. Should I make one more drink before we sign off? Is anyone in on one more drink before we sign off? Are you getting sufficiently distracted from the horrors of everyday life? I hope so. Let me see. Do I have white chocolate liqueur? I have an inkling that white chocolate liqueur will taste amazing with this. Am I wrong? I don't know. Oh, do you know what else would be good? Since we can't find the white chocolate liqueur. Tio Pepe Sherry. Fino Sherry. Chocolatey, spicy deliciousness. Lemon. I'm going to put lemon. Right. Let me see. Yes, I'm using a chopping board. I realized when people said like the stabby Dean Callan show cabin, because I was trying not to mess up a chopping board. So I was cutting things in midair. Wasn't the most socially responsible way of cutting stuff, but you know, we're in social isolation. So, you know, I can be irresponsible. I'm by myself. Who am I going to hurt? Only myself. And also, it made life easier at the time. Right, so now we have lemon juice. Let me see how much we got. Okay, 25. I'm going to put 10 of Tia Pepe. Maybe a little bit more than 10. I'm getting sloppy in my old age. I'm going to put some gin. What gin? Only the best ruddy gin. So this is Boatyard double gin. I don't know what makes it double. I was given this by Declan McGurk, right? And I know when you hear you were given a bottle of gin by Declan McGurk, you're thinking, you're showing off, Dean. Well, showing off would be saying that Declan was the person that married myself and my wife at my wedding in Italy. That's showing off. Declan giving me a bottle of gin is just stating fact. And the fact is, this is delicious. So I put 60 mils of gin. I'm going back to my funkin' sugar syrup because it's funkin' amazing. It doesn't go off. If we decide we want to come out here and get funkined up, we can get funkined up the whole night without a concern that this stuff is going to make us sick because it doesn't go off. Or, well, I use too much of it before it goes off. But Funkin's awesome. You know what? Funkin sent me a care package because I kept talking about Funkin. I'm actually not joking. I didn't have time to go through it all. I only opened one box because there was 3 boxes. And all I got out was the Funkin Pina Colada premix, which just makes my day. I also seen there was an espresso martini one, so watch out for Instagram with like, hi, my name is Dean Callan, I'm a bartender, and this is how to make a pina colada. Because that's my dream. Like, the canned cocktail thing is hilarious. All right, so where was I? So, I am making a twist, if you haven't already realized, on a London Calling, but with chocolatey deliciousness bitters, right? So, I'll put 10 drops. Let's have a look and see how that works out. I need some metal straws. It's getting old. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to get rid of that. I could probably put more. Right. So, unfortunately, I've not been able to download Josh's video yet, but you'll see it tomorrow. I'm going to shake this up, make one last cocktail. And I'm going to share it with my wifey, who's come out. Did the feed finish? No. No, it's still going? Okay. Let's see, where are we? 2 glasses, maybe. What do I have 2 of? There we go. So you up for a drink? Yeah? All right. Get this one. Can you just grab an orange out of that bag? Split it. Come on. Look relatively okay. Oh, evil. Evil. This is what you get when you decide at the last minute to split one drink into two and share it with your wifey. Right, so twist. Let's have a look. Gonna go with an orange twist. I know that a London Calling, if anyone knows a London Calling, has a grapefruit twist, but I don't have grapefruit. This is a fucking quarantine. Who has grapefruit? Fresh grapefruit. Right. Here you go, Bubba. Do you want to say goodbye with me, little man? Hello. Who's the cutest little baby in the world? All right. This has been Cabin Fever from the Dean Callan Show. This is Axel Callan and Dean Callan, alternatively known as AC/DC, signing out. Say goodbye, little buddy. Bye-bye. He's too interested in the booze. All right, and that's us out. Finish and broadcast.